Bendiciones. Hoy yo quiero agradecer a mi prima Vicky Rivera. Bendiciones, Vicky Rivera. Y feliz cumpleaños. This is the very first time, happy birthday, prima. Very first time that I ever give someone a shout out on their birthday. Synchronicity. Y yo quiero hablarle sobre mi prima porque she has made a great impact in my life, like a very, very big impact. And here, let me show you all where I'm walking to our Garden of Eden, our botanical oasis here. Vicky is such a role model. She's my older cousin, and growing up and meeting her for the first time, I remember everything crystal clear. So Vicky, I just remember being a jewel of just sunshine and very warm. Now, this is the thing. My dad and I were pretty much, I'm gonna say it, it felt like we were abducted from Puerto Rico to where we lived. You all know where that is, the Midwest. And getting to know my family, like my dad has a lot of kin, and I've met a lot of them, right? Tío Germán, Abuelo Ángel, a zombie, lived with my father and I for a little bit, and he was like, this place in Midwest, no, yo me voy aquí no. And, and went back to Puerto Rico, but I just want to say that prima cousin Vicky, no matter what's been going on in the family and, people starting their lives and building their own nucleuses, Vicky has always been such an elegant, such a superstar of a person, warm, charming, and for me, a resource of kindness and also professionalism. Now, this is the thing, is I have a list of people that if I ever win the lottery, because I play the lottery wherever I go, Vicky's one of those people who'll be like, hey, familia, Vicky, Titi Toñita, Nelson, Tío, Primo, Cindy, tell me, let's go to Puerto Rico for a weekend. And then Vicky's just a very, very, I want her to be around my kids. She's a role model for my daughters. I'm a girl dad. Y Vicky es una persona inteligente. She's wise. Every single conversation that we've ever had has always been elevated. Even when I was a young kid, just very, very astute. And someone, coming from where I came from, growing up in the most segregated place in all of the United States, at the time, number one, right now, probably number 1, 2, or 3, top 5 for sure. Going from that and then getting to meet my Puerto Rican side of the family within the United States, because going from the United States intercontinentally to the island is different than going from one state to another state. Puerto Ricans are just different. So I got to see a little bit of what my dad grew up around, New York, Brooklyn. And even though the family is in, different states, shout out to Massachusetts, shout out. There's still similar cultures, more similar than what I experienced in the Midwest, a completely different world. So I got to see that and experience that, and also see my dad have such a great relationship with his sister. Like, I was like, my dad was just my dad, and I got to meet a lot of his siblings, and then getting to re-meet and revisiting, like family. His sister, is seeing that connection. It was just very, very enlightening. So thank you so much, Vicky. You are a role model. You are a superstar. I am inspired by everything that you do, from fashion to notary, just professionalism all throughout the years. Very great person to converse with. You should have your own podcast. When I think of people in our family who are on something professional, you come up to mind. Like, you're up there. And I've mentioned you, right? People want to speak about families and lineage, and I've got family too, and you're one of them. Titi Toñita, congratulations. You're all very successful entrepreneurs, and I hope to reconnect soon. Nos vemos pronto, and I miss you all. Pero bendiciones. We'll see each other very, very soon. We just spent time with Abuela Rosa, and beautiful memories. I saw a bunch of family pictures, and she made the move first. She said, como un coquí, I'm going to go from Massachusetts a Florida. We're working to do the same thing. So, muchas gracias. I do have a Vicky story, because I always share stories. So, I had never met that side of my family before, like my dad's sister, oldest sister. My dad was the oldest of everyone, but I never met the oldest sister as an elementary middle schooler. So I was a middle schooler about elementary school, and I met every single other family member, but the East Coast was really inaccessible. And then one day my dad, we gotta go. My dad fighting illness, fighting sickness, as you all know, drafted into the military. I went to the VA with him. They gave me the papers. I saw everything firsthand. He was discharged 100% disabled. So, post the military, anyone that, the man that you met, my father, great man, great person, but that man was 100% disabled. And he was, U.S. military. Um, he served, so he did his time, and you would have never known. You're just, Puerto Rican, Boricua. So Vicky and Tita Doñita reconnecting with them. I remember my dad had mentioned one name. Now this person is associated with this, but you might be next. You're definitely next. I've been thinking about you. So Nelson, my dad would be like, oh, Nelsito, yeah, Nelsito's gonna take care of us. We're gonna get there. Massachusetts, ahí está Nelsito. See, no, don't worry about it. Hey, watch it. You're gonna play with Nelsito. And he would mention Nelsito. He'd be like, Nelsito knows this, he knows that. And he would and I'd be like, who's Nelsito? Who's Nelsito? And I met Nelson Nelsito, and just wonderful. Entire family, Cindy, Vicky, bendiciones. I remember that when we first met, it was around Christmas. All I wanted was a basketball. I was hooping, playing basketball. I got my basketball eventually after advocating. And I had to advocate because one time I asked my parents, I was like, can I get like a Nintendo 64 or PlayStation, one of those two? And I ended up getting a Sega. And I was like, I have no idea how to work this. I was like, this year, all I want is a basketball. Please don't give me a soccer ball. Please don't get me a volleyball. I just want a basketball. And I got my basketball because I ended up saying, hey, let's go to Walmart. My gift's right there for Christmas. That's all I want is a basketball. And I remember you got me a sweater, a FUBU, orange sweater. I still have images, pictures, family pictures and albums with that. And I was like, this is awesome. I was born in Carolina, Puerto Rico, Los Naranjales. Oranges. So orange has always been a staple, like a color that I resonated because I was born there in the place of oranges. So when you got me that, I was like, oh, this is cool. FUBU, orange. This is awesome. And I appreciate it. I remember that to this day. And as a little kid, you made a great impression. I always felt safe around you. So thank you so much, Vicky. This is a shout out for first time making history. Did I give someone a shout out on their birthday? Bendiciones.